In this lesson, you're going to learn about multi-body advantages and limitations. We've talked about how you can create individual bodies within a SOLIDWORKS part. This is very helpful in many ways. It avoids needing to create a lot of individual parts and put them together in an assembly. But at the same time, you shouldn't confuse multi-body modeling with assembly modeling. For one thing, whenever you create a multi-body part like this, the feature tree for all of the parts is right here. Problems with one individual part, it may likely cause problems with the rest of your part. So don't use multi-body modeling as a replacement for assemblies. In a later lesson on master model layout, we will talk about how multi-bodies can be used in the way that this mouse has been constructed to create relationships between parts that are difficult to create in an assembly. Other appropriate uses for multi-body modeling in SOLIDWORKS will include things like patterning. We examined this sort of technique for creating a pattern, and we have a shape that has multiple features associated with it. And rather than patterning all of the features, it often makes sense to pattern bodies. If you have a very complex part, patterning bodies can save you a lot of time as well. In SOLIDWORKS, the rebuild time for the history tree, when you pattern features, may take up a lot of time, but if you pattern bodies, it goes much faster. We also looked at repositioning bodies with the crankshaft. This is a very appropriate for multi-body modeling, especially when the same basic shape is repeated over and over again using the original set of features. You would not, for example, want to use multi-body modeling to create something like this. An engine has parts that move relative to one another, and multi-body models can't do that. Also, if you wanted to check interference in a multi-body part, SOLIDWORKS does not have that capability. It only exists within the assembly. And if you need to create materials from a multi-body part, that's another function that doesn't exist in a straightforward manner. Even if we go back to our multi-body parts here, let's go back to the mouse. By the way, I'm tabbing through open documents by holding down the Control key and pressing Tab to open through all my available SOLIDWORKS documents. Some SOLIDWORKS features do not allow you to work with multiple bodies. For example, let's use the Move Copy to move this particular body, just to move it out of the way. I'm going to move it manually. You can use the device on the screen to drag along an arrow, or you can rotate around one of the rings, or you can select on one of these wings and move a part along a plane. Getting back to what I was saying, there are some features that don't allow you to use multiple bodies. For example, if I want to fillet edges of this part and I select a couple of edges on this body, make the size of that a little smaller. And if I try to select an edge on another, I get a message that says edges for multiple bodies cannot be filleted in a single feature. So this is a limitation of multiple bodies within a single SOLIDWORKS part.